On this video, I'm going to discuss how to speed up your job search even when the economy is struggling. To get the full free video series on how to accelerate your job search, please visit the website jobsearchmasterplan.com. Okay, now I'm going to discuss 7 ways to help you stand out from others, because one of the problems is that most job and career seekers don't do anything to separate themselves from the competition. And the fact remains that whatever position you're applying for most likely has a good number of other people applying who are just as qualified as you are, and perhaps even more so. So the first way to stand out from others competing for the same job is to simply have a job search action plan in place and then follow it. Most job and career seekers don't have any type of plan, and many that do have a written plan of action don't follow it. So if you do these 2 things alone, it will put you ahead of most job and career seekers. The second thing you want to do is turn into a job search warrior. Yes, I know this probably sounds corny, but you really do need to be persistent and self-motivated and attack this head on. You almost need to think of this as a battle, and it's one that you're going to win if you give it your all and go about things wisely. When it comes to standing out from others, it really is all about how you position yourself. This applies from a written standpoint with the resume and in person when you're getting interviewed. While your qualifications are important, if you position yourself the right way, then you will stand out from others. Make sure you watch the rest of this 2-part presentation as well as the other free job search videos to learn more about how to properly position yourself. A fourth way to stand out from others is to have a great attitude. Many people with awesome qualifications don't get hired because they don't have a great attitude. Some people think that you're born with the type of attitude you have, and while that may or may not be true, you can condition yourself to have a great attitude if you don't have one already. It might not be easy to do, but if you can change your attitude, it will improve your chances of landing a great job. When getting interviewed, besides having a positive attitude, you also want to show the interview that you're confident. Once again, a person who has a great attitude and is confident will get hired over someone with equal qualifications but has a poor or mediocre attitude and lacks confidence. Heck, even if someone is slightly more qualified than you, then you still stand a good chance of getting the job if they aren't confident and don't have a good attitude. A sixth way to stand out from others is to step out of your comfort zone. The fact remains that most job seekers would just like to spend all of their time searching on the internet and pray they will get a job. And many people actually do this. But if you want to accelerate your job search, then you will need to do things other job and career seekers aren't willing to do, which not only includes everything I've mentioned so far, but also involves spending a good amount of time networking as well as directly contacting hiring managers. It's perfectly natural to feel nervous about doing this, but if you take these extra steps, then you will stand out from others applying to the same position. A seventh and final way to stand out is to have some type of unique selling point. This admittedly is not easy, but besides having some great skills and achievements, if you could show the hiring manager the advantages they would receive by hiring you over the competition, then it will be difficult for them to turn you down. So spend some time trying to think about what advantages you would have over every other candidate. Now, to be frank, even if you can't come up with a unique selling point but do the other 6 things I just mentioned, you still will have a huge edge over the competition. But if you can also come up with 1 or 2 big advantages, then this really will improve your chances of getting a great job in a fast period of time. When you are searching for a job, you always want to think like an employer. First of all, think about the risk they are taking whenever they are hiring someone. This is one of the big reasons why many employers first look internally, as besides not having to spend money on posting a listing or hiring a recruiter, they can easily find out if a current employee has been doing a good job and is reliable. On the other hand, they have no idea how good of a worker you will be, or whether or not you will even show up at work on time. Just because your resume looks great doesn't mean they believe what you put down or what you tell them during the interview. I have personally interviewed people, and I can tell you that there were some people who were great during the interview, but who turned out not to be good employees. And unfortunately, there were times when I made a mistake and hired the wrong person for the job, even after checking all of the references. Most experienced hiring managers have made the same mistake at one time or another, and therefore will be very cautious as to whom they hire. You also want to ask yourself, what are they really looking for? Sure, they are looking for someone who is qualified for the position, but once again, most employers are looking for more than this. They want someone who is reliable, someone who will look for work during the slow times and not slack off, someone with a great attitude and gets along with other employees, and most importantly, someone who can help grow the business. With that being said, you need to also ask yourself, how can you benefit the company? In other words, can you help make them more money or to be more efficient? What it really comes down to is the question, why should they hire you? As you know, nobody is going to hire you just because you need a job. They will hire you only because they feel you would benefit the company in one way or another. So before you begin your job search, make sure you take on the mindset of an employer, and when interviewing with them, always think about how you can benefit the company. In order to greatly improve your chances of landing a job during a tough economy, you obviously want to consider every single option out there to help you during your search. Although I'm not a big fan of spending too much time searching for a job online, I still think it's a good idea to spend a little bit of time searching and applying online. Even though most people hate to network because it can really help you get a job, then it would be foolish not to do any networking. And if you really want to speed up your job search, then you should spend a good amount of time doing this. I don't know anyone who enjoys cold calling hiring managers, but this can be another effective method of getting interviews. I'll talk more about this on the second part of this presentation, as if you can step out of your comfort zone and do this, then it can greatly improve your chances of landing a job. You can also try contacting recruiters, although you must keep in mind that they work for the employers and not for you. Plus, if you have your resume posted all over the internet, then they will be less likely to work with you. But it doesn't hurt to contact some recruiters to at least see if they have anything that fits what you're looking for. You might want to consider contacting the local temporary agencies, as they might have some connections with your target companies. And even if you're looking for permanent work, sometimes a temp job can lead to a permanent position if you do a great job of impressing the employer. So it might be worth the risk accepting a temporary position if it involves working for one of your target companies. Because even if it's not the exact position you wanted, once you have your foot in the door, it will be much easier to get interviewed for other job openings. Job fairs can also sometimes be a good way to get an interview from your target company. Now, before attending a job fair, try to see if you can find out what companies are going to be there. And if you do attend, make sure you bring at least a few dozen copies of your resume, as you never know who you're going to bump into. The website monster.com has postings of some of the job fairs that might be coming to your area. Thank you for taking the time to watch this presentation. For more information on how to accelerate your job search during an extremely tough economy, please visit the website jobsearchmasterplan.com. On this website, you will find more great information on how to accelerate your job search, including more free job search videos, free job and career search tips, free articles, and even a job search blog. This information will be useful for both those job seekers who are currently out of work, as well as for those who are currently employed but are looking for a new job or an overall career change. Thanks again for watching this free video, and I wish you the best of luck with your job and career search.